Muted. Muted.
Okay, hello everyone. Thanks for joining today. This is Q, and I am with Minnesota Housing, the program manager for NFMC. NFMC. So today we are actually going to just quickly go over the final expenditure report for round 9. Um, I believe last month I sent out a quick poll to all the program managers or anybody who was doing, or the accountants that were doing the final expenditure report or the final reports, to see if they were interested in doing either one or two reports. Typically around this time we would not have finished the round yet. However, with round 9 being a shorter round, we would have to either do a quarter report um, that would be due the end of January, and then the final report would then be due in February. So understanding that this was a shorter round, I wanted to give everybody the opportunity to let me know if they were be interested in doing either one report or two reports. Majority of you guys had responded stating that you guys wanted to do just the final report, which would be easy for me considering that there was only two reports for the round. So with this, I'm just going to quickly go over the final expenditure for round 9. And then if anybody has any questions, just feel free to put anything or put your question in the chat box, and then I'll be able to respond shortly after. So by now, I believe I sent out all the expenditure reports last week or the week of Christmas. I happened to be here, so it was very slow here, so I just decided to go ahead and send everything out. Now, on this page here, you'll see this is actually the Check Your Answers tab. There are 3 tabs that I sent to all subgrantees. So there is the Final Expenditure tab, the Final PRS tab, as well as Check Your Answers. So we're actually going to go ahead and start on the 3rd tab. On the 3rd tab, all the cells should be locked, just so that in case there were any problems, or pretty much there is already a set answer that I'm looking for when I'm going to be receiving these back from you guys. So in this case, I'm just putting Minnesota Housing as the agency, and then as you guys all know, there is the counseling award as well as the PRS award. Now with each agency, whatever their counseling award is, they receive 10% for PRS, so program related support. You all should have been tracking these expenses separately. So with the award, some agencies received a reallocation, some did not. So this amount here should reflect your most recent award. And again, PRS will be 10% of your counseling award. At this time, I know a lot of agencies have been questioning me regarding their receivables. We have not dispersed 100% of your award. We thus far have only received 75% of the award. Therefore, you should only have 75% at this time. If you have not received 75% of your counseling and PRS award, it should be on its way. I know that I was just talking to my accounting the end of last week or middle of last week, and they were working on getting that 75% disbursement sent. So if you do not have it yet, you should be expecting it here, I would say by middle of next week. Okay, so that's why we have billed here. So what I would like for everyone to do is go ahead and um, put your expenses as if you've already used up 100% of the award. So though you did not receive all the full amount, please go ahead and include expenses for the entire amount. Okay, and then what I'm going to go now is to the final expenditure report. Now, the final expenditure report, you'll see here, most of the time people get a little intimidated by this. I'm going to just zoom out quick. In column A, these are the expenses, or this first column here. These are the expenses that we are looking to collect from all agencies. Column A, or row, or column B here, but this column A, we are looking for you to provide us with all your expenses for counseling. So staff, counseling, consultants, equipment, and so forth. Now there are a few cells here, and again, most of these cells are locked. However, these cells right here are not. And if you could just go ahead and enter something in here that is not already provided up above, that'd be great, just so I can set out all the expenses accordingly when I complete the report in the DCS. And then column B here would be all the program-related supports, and then column C would be all foreclosure program expenses. So for column C here, what I'm looking for are all the other expenses from HUD, HECAT, Fannie Mae, and so forth. Some agencies have, they use their own appropriations, some do not. So if you can include all of those other expenses there, that's truly what I'm looking for. And then once all these three columns are completed, it will automatically populate here in row or column D. Okay. So once the totals come up, so I'm just going to randomly put numbers in here. These numbers here, the total here, should match this number here. And again, these numbers below are actually your award. So this will be the $124,500 is your counseling award. $12,450 is your PRS award. So all your expenses here should match your counseling award. Okay. Same thing with PRS. Your PRS expenses should match your PRS award. Now let's just randomly say you receive $10,000 in other programs, and I'm just going to throw some numbers in here. Let's say you have $19,000 in other foreclosure program expenses. Then, as I stated earlier, column E here, or column D here, I'm sorry, will auto-populate, and your entire foreclosure program expenses would be $155,950. If you move over, so once this is complete, so this is, I want to say, chart A. If you move over to chart B, this is where I am looking for all your leverage, all your other sources of funds. And then I would just like for you guys to enter the sources. So let's say NFMC round 10 is, round 9. Other federal, let's say you have HUD, and that is 10,000. let's say you have HECAT, and that is 9,000. Okay. Um, then at this point, you'll see that I am short. So in all, what I'm looking for is that these two numbers right here should be matching. So I'm short 12,450, which is actually my PRS. So let's just add both of those numbers in. So what is that? 136,950. And now these two numbers match. Okay. So what I'm looking for is that your overall foreclosure program expenses match your sources of funds. And this is a little bit longer, so let me zoom out a little bit. So for all your foreclosure expenses, the 155 or whatever your amount is should match all your sources of funds. Majority of time, or the last few times that I've assisted or completed the final expenditure report, most of the time these numbers do not match. And I absolutely need these numbers to match in order to complete my report correctly in the DCS as well. Okay. Now these columns here, the unspent funds to verify, in all reality, these two are really to just is another check and balance. They should be equaling 0, which in these cases they do. And if you have any interest earnings, which I'm going to go ahead and assume there is none, in the past or from round 1 through round 8, we advanced funds. So a lot of agencies actually earned interest on their funds. But now in round 9, since we are now on the reimbursement, we now do reimbursements, most agencies may not have any interest earnings. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and let's just say I did something incorrect. So if I were to enter something smaller or less than, you'll see that I automatically already don't match in multiple places. If you go to check your answers, again, these numbers are supposed to equal the same exact number. If they do not, please go back to your final expenditure report and make those edits accordingly. Okay, so I'm just going to go back and fix that. Now, in the PRS, the final PRS tab, this one is very simple. All you guys have to do is give me or provide me with percentages on some of these activities that you've been completing for NFMC round 9. This one has not changed for many of, or this is pretty much the same exact template we've used for multiple rounds. So if you say outreach to borrower, let's say use about 50% of that. Let's say for PRS funds, and let's say capacity and infrastructure tracking, and then that's the other 50%. This number should just automatically hit 100, and these two numbers here will add up to the 12,450 here. That has already been pulled over from the other tabs. Now, that's pretty much it. Again, most of the agencies or anybody who has been completing the report in the past has often had questions regarding the sources of fund as well as all program foreclosure program expenses. Again, these two numbers must match. Otherwise, please go ahead and look at your Check Your Answers tab, and these two or all of these should again match. And I believe I did lock all of them. So please go ahead and finish or complete your report accordingly. If you have any questions, please let me know. I am actually going to go ahead and open up the line and answer any questions if there are any. So just give me 1 second, okay? Okay, so the lines are now open. If anybody who does not have a question can mute themselves either on their own phone or hit *6, that would automatically mute you. Does anybody have any questions regarding um, the report? And it does look like I have a few questions here, so let me just check. Can you confirm the period for the reporting? Okay, yes. So the NFMC Round 9 officially started July 1st, 2015, and should be December 31st, 2015. There were only a few agencies that were billing, I believe, in May 2015. And those, if you have any questions regarding when your billing time is, please feel free to just shoot me an email and I'll be able to look a little bit closer. However, majority of the agencies that are on the call today have a billing period from July 1st, 2015 until December 31st, 2015. Okay, let me see. Unfortunately, I'm not able to make anybody else a presenter. So if you have any questions, please feel free to just unmute yourself and let me know.
This is Heather from Washington County HRA. I have a quick question regarding the other sources of funds. Are we putting in like the full HUD amount that we received for the fiscal year, or are we only doing like July through December and what we were allocated, like what we billed for HUD during that time?
I'm probably going to push this back over to Dana, if Dana is on the call. But I would believe that it would be just from the time frame, the same time frame that you're billing that was allocated to a foreclosure only, not the full amount. But again, we can, if Dana is on the line, she can either jump in, or if she does, or we can look into that a little later and then shoot you an email back.
Q, I'm here. Can you hear me?
Oh, yes. Hi.
This is Dana. Hi. You know, I guess it's your financial report, so I know you're asking me, I assume, to put my HUD hat on, and is yes, why you're deferring to me. But I mean, I would think with any reporting, you'd want it to follow the same time frame. And then, as Q said, that if you get dollars for other services from HUD, you wouldn't include that. These would just be the portion of your HUD dollars for July, for your time frame, so most of you July through December, and then just foreclosure dollars. And I know a number of you wrapped up your HUD award end of September, so it'd just be what you've received. You obviously don't have to include anything that you don't know about yet for the HUD year that started October of 2015.
Okay, Heather, did that answer your question?
Yeah, I think it does. So just to clarify, then we would only be counting the expenses billed to HUD because we did spend our money up by September. So we would only be counting expenses from July 1st through the end of September for HUD, and only counting the income received then from HUD from July 1st till the end of September. Is that right?
Yeah. That's what would be my suggestion, Heather. This is Dana. And again, I don't know if you guys bill for other services, just the portion that's for foreclosure.
Yeah, we break it down like that.
Yeah, so yeah. So you just want to include your foreclosure portion from July through September, correct?
Okay. Anybody else have any questions? All right. Well, I'm going to go ahead and just, I knew that this webinar was going to be very quick. So please keep in mind that the final report is due to me by next week, Friday, January 15th. I will only have 1 week to complete and compile all quarterly and final reports. So I will need everything on time. Again, if you guys can get that to me by the end of day or close of business on Friday, January 15th, that would be wonderful. Otherwise, if you guys have any other questions, please feel free to just shoot me an email. If anything, again, if you need additional clarification regarding HUD, unfortunately I don't know, so let's just go ahead and have CC or email Dana or CC me for any clarifications. Otherwise, thank you everyone for joining the quick webinar today, and you guys have a great day. Thanks.